I like big books, and I cannot lie. It's a novel idea.
Oh my gosh. This is why I love you.
I thought it. Never mind. And
We're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We are live around the world, folks. And if you're new to the show, welcome in. We're gonna welcome you here, probably here.
welcome to the shit show.
That's right.
We really know.
We are actually.
What do we do to people?
I don't know. Stuff.
15 seconds.
15, yeah. Roger that. 10. Coming in hot, folks.
Does this hat make my head look fat?
Oh my gosh, Rusty, seriously, I cannot believe you did that. I mean, why, dude? Why? What? Just answer. Why would you have sex with her?
What, dude? What was I supposed to do? I mean, yeah, we were both there. You know, she was naked. She was just laying there. What else was I supposed to do?
You could have done the autopsy. You could have done the freaking autopsy.
Well, I did later.
No, well, that doesn't count. That's disgusting. How?
I mean, not to everybody.
That's just.
What would you do again?
He did it.
I didn't.
Every time, Reverend Professor Coroner Rusty J. Lugnuts, you know.
I would never, ever do that again.
I don't believe you.
Did it hurt?
Why am I having trouble with the YouTubes here?
What do you mean? Did I do something wrong?
No, you didn't do anything wrong.
Oh.
I just click on the dang channel and I'm looking for the video feed and I have nothing. But regardless, anyone who's out there.
You're regardless.
Oh,
I hate you. That is not a word. You, my friend, are what some people may call a jackass.
I see it. I see it over on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube? Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Huh. Is it so just because you see something and you hear something and you learn about something, it's correct? It's true?
if you see something, say something.
I don't think.
Let me ask you this, Sean.
Nothing, Wesley. You didn't miss anything.
Have you been over to the Off Track page and clicked the subscribe
Yes.
and the bell?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have. Because I would, as you as well, have implored everyone to go over to the YouTube page and like the videos individually, the ones you're watching, like right now. Subscribe to the channel.
And then hit that little bell.
Right. Just hit it. If you're not hitting it, you got to hit the bell, a ding, 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 whatever. Get your notifications in there so you can watch the show. I want to start out by mentioning that last week I was sitting around for a little while and decided to go get a little
Hookers and blow?
No. Oh God, no. I went to get something to eat and have a beer at Buffalo Wild Wings when I was in Indiana. And first of all, before I forget, have you ever had what do they call it? Buffalo cauliflower?
No.
Oh.
I took some medication to get rid of it.
No, it's just an appetizer, but it is like crispy coating on the outside, and it's just like eating boneless chicken wings, and it's good.
Wow.
Crispy, huh?
Not overly, just a little bit of. It's not like soggy or something. You know what I mean? Like if you.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, it's not like boiled.
No. I don't. I guess they deep fry it. I guess they may put a little bit of breading on it. It's not overly breaded. It's light, but it is so good.
It's not overly crispy either.
No, it's not overly crispy. Like,
yes,
I know you could totally eat it.
Okay.
And they're not that
She
big.
said. That's what she said exactly.
She did actually.
Did it come with a dipping sauce?
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, I got.
I like
what
dipping
did I
sausage.
get? Asian zing is what they are, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love it.
Ooh.
It's good
Round
stuff.
eye love Asian zing.
So
Alrighty then. So while I was there, I was sitting at the bar, and there were two guys sitting next to me who had already been there, and they were chit chatting, and me.
you rudely butted in.
No, I was being a social butterfly, like I am. You know that.
Okay.
What? Tell me I'm not a social butterfly.
Whatever. Go ahead.
Ask my lovely girlfriend. I think she'll agree with me. Anyway,
She probably hates it.
and I think she's listening too. So maybe not. Maybe she's not. I don't know. Anyway, so I kind of started talking to these guys. They were talking about veterans and their dads and deploying and stuff. And anyway, after a while, one guy took off. And so this guy scooted over and we started chit-chatting. And we talked about the show a little bit. Actually, that was afterwards. But we started talking about some political stuff and things going on in the world. And just about how, and what are the barbacks, I think? I don't know what this girl did. I think she was a barback, whatever. She was kind of involved in the conversation, but basically it came down to how we think live and let live. We might not agree on many things in our lives, whether they be insignificant or, very substantial when it comes to what you believe in your life, your morals, your standards, whatever. But it's nice to hear even the young people say, hey, you know what? You just do you, man. I don't care. You do you. I'll do me. We can sit down. We can have a beer. And if need be, we can have a conversation about it that is level-headed.
Good luck with that.
Civil. We did.
Well, sometimes when you disagree on politics, people take it personally. You're offending their beliefs. But I thought we usually saved politics to later in the show because
I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about meeting
people.
someone.
You're talking about people. I love that.
Yeah,
I love
people. Right.
Okay, I love human behavior.
Yes, that's right there. You just said it is my whole point. Human behavior. There's a lot of things that, if you're married or in just, a relationship, whatever, best friends, it doesn't matter. A coworker, you're not going to agree with everything. It is impossible. It is completely impossible to agree with everything. And if you are, maybe you're just agreeing to get along. And I don't think that's healthy.
Oh, it's not authentic.
No, you're not being true to yourself. So it's okay to disagree on some things. And maybe you can find middle ground if you have to deal with certain things as a couple or, like I said, in the workplace or, whatever the situation may be.
Find common ground.
Find common ground, absolutely. But it was nice to see, and of course, the gentleman that I met, I'm pretty sure he's listening right now. I should
just be good to your fellow man, which brings me to a quick little movie that I watched today, a documentary about that kind of warms the cockles, like sub cockles.
There's nothing like a warm cockle.
No, it's on Amazon.
All right, what?
It's a nice little feel good story about America and all that. So it's called Bikes of Wrath.
As in motorcycle?
No, bicycles. And these guys from Australia who are big fans of John Steinbeck and Grapes of Wrath decided to travel as close as they could the route that the people in Grapes of Wrath. I can't.
Have
I'm
you
sure
read
Ro-
that? I just started it.
Yeah, no, I didn't read it. I watched the movie, and I'm sure the book is 100 times better. The movie's okay. A lot of political. You wouldn't think, but there's a lot of political in that
Oh,
movie.
he is listening.
But
Abel is listening, by the way.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's being about the being good to your fellow man, pretty much, and how these guys discovered they couldn't believe how nice everybody was. They flew into Oklahoma City and rode bicycles 1,500 miles to Bakersfield, California, and documented their trip along the way and just how everybody was just awesome to them.
That's so
Pretty much.
sexist.
And
Wait, what?
wait, what?
Be good to your fellow man, but that's it.
No, because you know what? Sometimes, and how difficult is it sometimes to keep our wits about us, keep our calmness in check if we get to somewhere where we don't agree with someone, and I mean, look, I've been there to where I've gotten heated. I have to admit, because haven't we all? Honestly.
Yeah.
Come on, hook a brother up here. Help me out.
Yeah.
Don't leave me hanging, people. I mean, we all have. Rusty, I know you've gotten heated. You know what? I'm out of here.
All right. What are we getting heated about? Just any topic somebody brings up in general, and they get really passionate about it, but you vehemently disagree.
Yeah, nothing in particular. Mm-hmm. It's it.
You know where that happens the most? In
Oh, tell me. I don't know.
sports bars.
Oh.
That's not a scientific study. I just said that, but when it comes to sports teams,
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. Yeah, we know some people who have. Yeah, they get all up in each other's face and are pointing fingers. I mean, like nose to nose.
that was a bad call.
Like,
Yeah.
Look what they
I
do.
don't care.
Look what they do overseas in Europe and pretty much anywhere soccer is played. There's all kinds of hooligans and fights and brawls and
Hooligans. Huh.
yeah, that's what they call them. But
Oh
no, that's
my
actually-
gosh, yes. I was driving on the A1 in Italy when Italy won the World Cup. And of course, I knew what was going on, but I really had no shits to give about it because it's, soccer. Right. But the whole highway and the toll booths, they were going crazy. And the only time I've ever seen anything slightly like that was when the Saints won here, and that was my first exposure to Saints fans. My first exposure.
I don't understand. Oh, go ahead.
But I'm from New England, so they get pretty heated. But I've never been into a bar where there are Yankees fans, like the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. But they get pretty contentious, big time.
Why is it that sometimes when people win, they still destroy shit?
yeah, that's
Why?
crazy.
What the hell is wrong with you? Your team won. Why are you turning cars over?
I think maybe alcohol probably plays a big part.
I think that's called asshole.
But I don't know if Melissa has felt it in Mississippi, but
How do
the
you know?
Alabama-Auburn rivalry. I don't think
There are divided fans here.
Yeah. Well, it's and maybe it's like this in Mississippi, but people have gotten divorced over it. People have quit going to church for it. Some people actually take off a day of work if their team loses to mourn.
I think some
mourn the
people.
law.
I think some people need to learn emotional maturity.
I don't get the whole look. I know it's your favorite sports team or your favorite sport. I love sports, but I literally don't understand. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't understand how someone becomes so emotionally attached to that kind of thing. I mean, literally, and this is, once again, here I preface this by saying this is my opinion. You can hate me. I don't care. It's not relevant to the rest of your life. Hey, Michael Weston just popped on. I heard he got a top fans badge today on Facebook.
Yes, he did.
Congratulations, Mike.
Where do I get one?
Thank you, Mike.
I can't even get one of them.
I ain't got
That
one.
guy must be special. Just saying.
You got to meet him.
His mama
He
said
didn't.
it.
He didn't show up the last time you guys were here.
What the hell?
I
Next
never
time.
showed up.
No, he was the one. Oh, where you guys slept in the camper?
Yeah.
That was his.
Dude.
Oh, well, thank you. I love Michael Weston Hotel. I tell you what, the amenities
that
were
was-
top shelf.
Right?
Oh, and
It's the best
That bad?
Weston.
Michael,
The
I will
best Weston.
the best Weston.
I would like a stocked fridge, a little bit next time. If you
I
could
would just
there,
like
Michael,
make-
I'm just saying.
I think that was supposed to be my job.
He says he's a top fan. Yeah. The best Weston. Yeah, I would like the sheets to be clean next time because there was a little smegma on there, I think. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
Save
I'm
the
totally-
leftovers. It's fine. You should have just switched the sheet over.
that's
I
true.
can
It's like
turn it
what you
over.
do. It's like what you do with
With
your
your underwear?
With your undies.
What if I'm commando?
Uh,
No commando.
oh, no.
I don't know. Okay. Have
Uh.
you guys ever heard of anyone living a double life?
Yes.
Do you know anyone? Somewhat?
Besides
No, I
me, no.
Wait, you
Oh.
do
I'm
not.
just kidding. No,
Because
that's
if you-
that's
like-
multiple personality.
I was like, wait, what?
You can find folks, guys mainly, that do this thing where they romance women in several different cities. And
Come
whatever.
on, it's not just guys.
It's women too. I mean, that why that one girl that faked
Anna?
her
Yeah, Anna something
kidnapping?
or another. Yeah,
Oh, wait.
faking Anna.
No. Bobby just watched this series. Is it Creating Anna?
Yeah,
Oh, I
creating-
just started that. Don't tell me what happens.
Okay. No, I have not seen it.
Inventing
Inventing
Anna.
Anna.
It's
Yes,
really
Inventing
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bobby said she loved it.
And
So-
the girl that plays Anna is that girl in Ozark. If you watched Ozark, the
Yep.
the blonde girl, she's amazing
Yeah, she is.
with the accent. But Sean, what were you getting at? Is as far as living a double life?
Well, apparently it's more than.
It seems like a lot of truck drivers do that. Drive around the country and they'll have girlfriends and.
No, it's not like what it used to be. You
Isn't
know
that what
why?
You drive around the country.
You can
all the
suck my.
Just kidding. I'm
You know I. Yeah, you wanna trigger me? Go ahead, start pointing fingers at that shit because that
But
shit pisses me off.
But I thought they do
No.
that. I think I read one of those true crime things about
I'm sure
a
back in
truck
the day,
driver.
Yes,
But that was before, your significant other could LoJack your phone. So
Yeah.
you could be
I don't-
anywhere. Or your
Right.
employers do that too.
I don't. Was there? After kind of glancing through this stuff, it looks like it reminds me of that there may have been a movie, but Scott Jennings. I don't know. Anyway, one thing led to another. I'm just gonna kind of concentrate this a little bit, but his wife was a professional, and they ended up having a kid, and she was the boss at work, right? And she was pretty bossy at home. That's what he's saying. And ran the show, whatever. They had a child. Well, the lady wanted to be super mom, and he was perfectly okay with, that's fine. No sweat. But it got to the point to where he just didn't want to be around him much. And, he was like, they would go to bed, he'd stay up, and then I guess he was a volunteer fireman. Well, he'd pretend he'd get a call for the fire department. And he would head out to the local bar instead, right?
So I guess she didn't have a scanner.
I don't know. This was back in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
It started in the 90s at least, but and then he turned to a woman, for that listening ear when he was down and out, and someone he could talk to, and
The emotional affair.
vulnerable, right? All this stuff starts usually something like this. But
When there's a deficit, people look to get that hole filled.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of
avoid-
times it doesn't have to do with sex.
No. But I guess they got divorced, and I don't know. I guess it's just a thing. And I didn't realize that after kind of glancing through here, and I'm just like, I don't see how people.
You hear that used to happen semi-regularly, truck drivers, having a couple of families on different ends of the continent because, back in them days, it took you more than a week to drive across, at 45 and 50 miles an hour.
And you couldn't talk on the phone all the time. You had to stop at a payphone.
Yeah.
These people always get caught eventually, right?
We would like to think that. That gives us comfort to believe that.
I hope they do.
But you don't know if they get caught if you don't know the story.
Well, that's the kind of thing. I mean, obviously, the knowledge is out there that he did it. I don't know if he just came forward, but regardless, it's out there. And I just, how do you do that to somebody?
It's not about intentionally doing it to somebody. It's them fulfilling themselves and not thinking about how it's going to affect everybody else.
Okay, tell me, answer this. Is that narcissistic?
Yes.
Very. It seems.
And usually the other person or the other woman is going to be a codependent personality.
Okay. Well, and in this situation, it does not seem like she was. She was very. Now, you know what? Personally, I don't know about her being codependent, but she was the boss at work. She ran the show at home. That doesn't mean she's not codependent.
Maybe she. Okay. No, I'm thinking the girlfriend was codependent.
Oh, I don't know.
But the wife might have emasculated him.
Yeah. Well, yes, I believe that could be true. But regardless, to me, everything. It's all about his happiness and stuff. Look, I know it. Maybe you're depressed. Maybe you're not happy with your whatever's going on. But instead of trying to figure things out, you just run, and it's all about you. Yeah.
And I think some of the problems in relationships like that, where he was gone a lot, and his wife wore the pants, and they weren't communicating. So people get these ideas in their head. They don't communicate properly. They go, like, he might say, well, you would think she would help me out more. And then she's like, you'd think he'd be home more. But those are in their head. They never vocalize it. So it ends up, they never talk about it. So it ends up eating him inside like a freaking cancer.
That's key, because when you sit there and say, well, you think he would do this, or you think she would do that. No, you can't think anything. You literally, intentional conversation. And it might be uncomfortable. But dang, it's got to happen if you want success in a relationship. I don't wish any of this on anybody, but
You sound like Dr. Phil right now.
oh, you know what? My girlfriend loves Dr. Phil. And look, we have sat and watched some stuff together, and it's kind of funny because they might be old shows. I don't know, but we're all just sitting there analyzing what's going on. It's fun. I like it.
Have you ever listened to Dave Ramsey, the financial guy?
Yeah, kind of.
So Dr. Phil and Dave Ramsey, like Dr. Phil's Texas, Dave Ramsey is Nashville. But damn it, does Ron Phillips not sound like a combination of both of them?
A little bit.
Yeah.
For the new people, Ron Phillips is the executive producer for Mojo 50 Radio and the CEO of Cuddle Me Buff. That's for that new guy. Listen,
I haven't read
he's kind
this
of our
yet.
boss.
It looks like a long text, so I'm going to read it. It's from Bess Weston. Military folks sometimes have deployment spouses.
No, see, I hate that shit.
Oh, the work spouse.
It doesn't matter. Look, it goes both ways, and I don't care which way it is. It's just wrong.
He goes on to say, coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism for the most part, but sometimes it's just the intimacy. Bottom line is, it's pretty selfish. Just stick to the hookers and stop developing intimate relationships. Hookers and blow, Michael.
Yeah, that's funny. He put that on Facebook too. I see that now.
Yeah.
Copy and paste, apparently.
Yeah, that was on Facebook. I was able to see it.
Oh, I thought you said it was text. Okay.
Yeah, normally I can't see it, but
What
do you call a fish without eyes?
no. I was thinking of deer. Oh my
What?
gosh. FSH, no I in the middle.
Oh my gosh. Rusty, what do you do?
Thank you, Rusty.
So once again, for the new guy, this is the guy you wanted to see tonight, Rusty Lugnuts.
Thank you for that.
He was really looking forward. He's like, I want to see this guy. He seems pretty cool, man. He's got his little get up.
He doesn't know me, does he?
What? You're all right. I mean, you're Rusty Lugnuts. All right. Well, wow, we didn't even. Okay.
We didn't.
We'll do it on
scratch
the other
anything.
side.
Yeah.
Stick around right here. Off Track Syndicate. Mojo 50.
And we're on a station network break or whatever the hell it's
Station
called.
identification. Stay tuned. This is the test of the emergency broadcast system. The following signal you just heard was a weekly test of the emergency broadcast system. If the following signal was followed by news, information, and instructions. Oh, wait.
That's right. Hang around right here at 1099 The Frog.
Huh.
And stuff.
Rusty, your new fan is over there talking to you on YouTube.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can have both of them open at the same time. I'll try.
You should. Oh. Well, if you can split your windows or you can just go back and forth. Got to get it on that Starlink.
I know. I just checked it today, and I still
I think we have it here, but I'm not sure.
Hold on a second.
still not.
Okay, cool.
Welcome back into Off Track Syndicate. Melissa, I have a question for you. Do you happen to know what the longest running longitudinal study in history is?
No.
Covering more than 75 years.
75 years?
Uh-huh.
No.
It discovered the two keys that to a happy life, apparently.
Two keys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Kids who do chores while growing up turn into much more successful adults. And they say it's research proven in the Harvard Grant study.
I would have to agree with that.
I completely agree with it. I didn't know there was a 75-year long or more than 75-year long study about it.
I guess this must be on your page that you're talking about, not the Syndicate page, or what? Because I don't see nobody new over here.
It's on YouTube. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you said Facebook.
No. His name's Abel. He's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I swear you said Facebook.
He's looking for his Rusty's looking for his new number one fan. Yeah. So, I completely agree that would make them. I mean, maybe I don't know how much, but because every kid's different, every person's different,
and every parent's different. But yeah, I mean,
yes.
I mean, it's funny that study is so long because it seems cut and dry to us. Because when you do chores, a responsibility, a member of the household, getting paid versus not getting paid, and then they learn how to take care of themselves, and I think that's the most important part.
Yeah.
They can leave home
And be self-sufficient.
exactly
Without having to call and ask a million times, what should I do about this? But don't get me wrong. Like, I remember when I was, when I say young, I mean, 24, because you're thinking, wow, you're still calling at 24. Well, you know what? I was in the military for a number of years, and I didn't have to cook my own food.
You're technically an adolescent until you're 27, 26.
Wait, according to who?
According to data, according to the
I'm not
study
asking
of
that
life,
guy on Star Trek.
according to the study of life cycles. I think for women it's like 24, 25, and for men it's like 26, 27.
Okay, but according to legal status, you're an adult at 18 and you can move out. Right. So that's usually what happens.
Adult and adolescence are two different things.
Well, yeah.
Adolescent is a mindset. Adult is a life milestone. Your status in society.
I just sat here and I said that, everyone moves out at 18, or most people do. Not so much these days.
No.
I mean, how many people do you know personally that still live in their mom's basement, guy or girl?
We don't have basements in Mississippi.
Or if you don't have a basement, whatever, they live in their parents' house. Mm-hmm. I moved out. Now, I'll before you chew on me here, anybody, I moved across the country when I was 19, and things didn't go so well, so I decided to join the military. So, in the time between signing up and leaving for boot camp, I got out of my apartment, I sold my car, I did all this, and I moved back in with my parents for a few months. I understand when people do things like that, or maybe if they get into
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I completely understand that.
You're not still there.
No.
Okay.
Dad, shut up. No, I'm just playing. No, you know what? Sometimes things happen in life, and you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no cut and dry binary way to do anything. Shit happens.
Some people would argue this, though.
It's stinky.
What'd you say, Rusty?
And it's stinky.
What's stinky?
Shit happens.
Oh, yeah, it does. I know. That famous guy, Forrest Gump, he was really big on that.
They say in a study that 724 high achievers had one major thing in common, and that's that they all did chores as a kid. 724. That is the study not as big as I thought it was. It's just ongoing.
Yes.
Well, they have to because society changes, and
Right,
our standards change through the generations. So you're talking about World War II kids, and then you come up with the baby boomers, and then Gen X and Gen Z and Gen whatever.
So as much as society and life has changed over 75 years, this holds true.
Exactly.
For their study, because this is a human behavior, not a societal behavior, right?
Sounds good, and I like that it stood the test of time.
It's consistent, absolutely.
It's all about consistency.
What's the next generation's going to be called after Z? Like what? Gen New Kids or what?
No, it's binary.
Alpha.
01.
Omicron.
Wait, that's a thing. Is that what I have?
Greek
Omnicron. Come on.
Omicron.
Oh, shut up. Oh,
Omnicron.
Look, I was so happy not talking about COVID or anything about it. Thanks, lug nuts.
It wasn't me.
What, didn't you just say Omicron?
She did. It was her fault.
It was my fault.
Always blame the woman, huh, Rusty?
Well,
Is that your...
I'm weak and I don't know any better, so I.
If the boot fits, strap that sucker on.
Oh yeah, is that what you call it?
Oh, damn. Wow. And that, I totally agree with this too. I've had arguments about this in the past. There's no age too young to start kids on chores or anything for that fact. I mean, today, not today specifically, like today's date, in today's world, I have actually been told, well, they just don't understand how to do certain things. Well, teach them. Mm-hmm.
It's because they don't have to.
Look, we've talked about this a number of times on the show to where back in the day, there's that statement again, kids grew up on farms and they did, and ranches back. Look, you
That's
can go
why
back
people had kids, was so they could work.
A lot of them had a lot of kids. And, look, there's nothing out there for children. And I mean, what, 5 maybe, be out milking cows, maybe, I don't know. You can milk a cow at 5 years old. You can be taught responsibility, accountability at 5 years old. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you can wipe your butt, you can milk a cow. How about that? Should that be on a damn t-shirt?
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
That's right. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Do we all hold up to this every day? No. Mm-mm. But I completely
I agree.
Yes.
I'm failing, but I agree.
I think we have all failed at being a parent every day. Period.
Yeah, that's true.
There is no such thing as a great. Okay, I'm going to take that back. No. Am I a good dad? Yeah, I know I'm a good dad. Am I a great dad? I don't know. That's maybe someone else's opinion. I don't know. But we all still fail. Period. Don't be too hard on yourself sometimes.
Right.
But then again, be hard on yourself.
But this has me wondering, why do seagulls fly over the sea?
Because they can't land in the dirt.
Because if they flew over a bay, they would be bagels.
Oh, I'm so hungry right now.
I'm just saying.
Is this what an aneurysm feels like?
Yes.
Really?
Wow. Hit the like button, y'all. Use guys. Please.
Guys.
You can ask your kids. You think you're going to get me to change the subject? You can ask your kids to do things, but if they don't do it, and then you just go and do it, why did you ask them to do it? If you have no expectation of them finishing whatever it is you asked them to do, why do you waste your breath?
That's called the passive parenting style.
I didn't know there was going to be a test.
There's not.
There's like 4 base.
It's opinion based, Rusty. You just give your opinion. Do you have opinions? You had opinions last week on the show.
Did I?
Oh yes, you did. Come on.
I don't.
I get it. Yeah, I don't.
So
No.
there are different parenting / leadership styles, and what you just described is a passive leadership style. So the 2 major ones are authoritarian or authoritative. Authoritarian.
I don't think you should have to be an asshole about it here, though.
Yeah, authoritarian is you're an asshole about it. It's because I said so, and it's spanking, and it's ruling out of fear. Authoritative is you keep consistent schedules, consequences, and you talk to your kids instead of because I said so. And the same thing with rulers and politics and workplaces. They do the same thing.
But there's also those people who are different than others. It doesn't matter what you, and we've talked about this recently too. It doesn't matter what you do to them. If they just say, no, I'm not picking up my room. And it doesn't matter what you do to them as a consequence. They don't care. You know, there are some very strong-willed people in this world.
But I think we know, and I think we have evolved and grown to know the answer is not violence.
Oh no,
We were all brought up that way, and we thought that was
no,
the way.
I was
but
not.
I
not
was. Yeah, the wooden spoon. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got some spankings, but that's the thing is, it wasn't to get me to do something. It's if I didn't, and I never got the wooden spoon necessarily, but you know, look, if I disobeyed, there were consequences.
I got the wooden spoon.
You know,
And the flip flop and the house slipper.
yeah, I mean,
That's when the parent loses control. And at that point, even though the child is feeling the pain, the child wins because it got mom or dad to lose control.
I didn't see it that way when I was young.
Of course you didn't. No, none of us did. Nobody does. But that's that little piece, that the little neurons that connect in your brain as you're going, that stays there, and it formed a memory. If you ever seen the movie Inside Out, it's really basic Disney explanations of how your brain works as far as processing emotions, but I think it is spot on. It should be like a documentary.
How do we relate this to, you know, I hate this that I always fall back on this example, but when you get pulled over by a cop because you did something wrong and you get a ticket and you get, say, 3 tickets and then they take your license away. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, it's not physically painful, but it is a painful process to go through, especially if you do it more than those 3 times and you can't drive anymore.
Right. That's a consequence.
So
it's a healthy consequence.
Right. And still some people don't give a shit. And they'll go out and drive without a license. They'll go out and drive without insurance.
Yeah,
they'll go break every law. Not to break the law. They just don't care. They're going to do what they need to do, and they don't care about consequences.
That's more of an antisocial personality disorder, kind of like borderline, because they know there are rules. They just don't apply to them. And they don't care how it affects society. They're like, I can do whatever I want. And they don't respect the law or the rules of society. Because we have the rule of law, but we also have our own social laws. Yeah.
I don't know. But what I'm saying is what specifically do you do with them people?
What do you mean?
Layman's terms here.
You can't.
Right?
You don't do anything with them. You can't change or fix or control anybody else. You just have to control how you are around them if you choose to be around them. But self-control, ignore them. Unless they are an important part of your life or in your circle, if it's just somebody
on a personal basis here.
If it's just somebody at work or somebody social.
No, I'm not talking about that. I was referring to the people who just can't follow the rules. I mean,
you don't do anything. Like, what are you getting at? What do you mean? What do you do with them?
Let them speed down the road?
Well, no. I mean, after
go ahead. I clocked you at 95 and it's 60.
Then when it gets to that point,
I pulled you over enough.
When it gets to that point, then you go to jail.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's painful. And that's not physically, well, it can be because the shit you deal with in jail from other inmates or whatever, but that can cause a world full of pain.
Mm-hmm. They're not going to learn. I mean, they're not going to try to do better. They're going to have their driving privileges revoked. They're going to go to jail and.
Right. Right. But, what do you. I just don't understand what pushes a person to just continue to push the envelope.
That's their personality.
Is it a personality or is there something wrong with them?
That is a loaded statement because there could be a serious mental illness. I mean, there's a difference between a serious mental illness and a personality disorder, and it's hard to differentiate between the two. To where a mental disorder, you're not necessarily going to get locked up or institutionalized just because you have a mental disorder. So it all depends on how they interact with society.
So anyway. Yeah.
I don't want your head to explode, Sean. You seem like really frustrated.
If it's a safety issue, you just said they might not get locked up. Okay. Fine. They don't get locked up. You don't have a driver's license. You're not in jail. It doesn't matter. You're going to go find a car and drive it.
Is there
There's a reason why you get a speeding ticket. It's not okay. Yeah, there's always money, but we beyond that, it's a safety issue. It's the same thing we said the other day about, oh my God, I don't want to drive drunk because I might get a DUI. What about hurting somebody?
Mm-hmm.
That's the main issue here, right?
Did he freeze for just a second, or was that me?
No, he did.
It may.
Okay.
Oh, great. Well, my internet sucks.
No, but it caught you right back up. We didn't lose anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you started talking real fast.
Maybe that was me.
So, what is there a specific
No, I'm just having a conversation.
situation? Okay.
No. We're just letting it go wherever it wants.
And
Oh, you're stressed out, Rusty. What do you have to talk
no,
about?
I don't.
No. Seriously, because I know you got some good stuff.
No, I don't. I mean,
Are we going to have that one conversation at the top of the next hour?
I believe so.
Okay.
What do you call? Some people call fake spaghetti goulash.
Wait, what?
You know, fake spaghetti.
I heard you. What?
I call it impasta.
Oh my gosh.
It's an
Oh,
impasta.
I'm going to tell you what really irritates me when you talk about pasta. When people call spaghetti or any kind of pasta, spaghetti, elbows, when they call them noodles, that just irritates the crap out of me.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, spaghetti is the only one you call noodles.
No!
Whoa. Oh, hold on. Wait, did you just say you can't call anything except, quote, spaghetti noodles?
Can't cook anything. Did I say that? Did I say anything?
I don't know. I meant
any pasta. You can't call any pasta noodles. You can't call spaghetti noodles. You can't call except for egg noodles, ramen noodles. Yes, but Italian pasta is pasta or macaroni.
The thing in there on the package, it says spaghetti noodles.
Is this Maria?
Where do you get your spaghetti?
I mean, it's cheap, but you know, whatever.
I'm going to have an aneurysm right after Sean does.
Is it, so is it pronounced Barilla or Barilla? Barilla. Barilla. Okay.
Oh.
No, doesn't it say on there spaghetti noodles?
No, I'm going to, the break, I'm going
What's
in.
the other one? The green box with the cremette or whatever. I don't know what the hell it says.
Great
I
value.
am so congested in my nasal cavities. It sucks a lot. I will just say that.
You might need to stick something up there to snake that drain.
It
might help.
I took some nasal decongestant like a little bit before the show. It doesn't seem to be doing a damn thing.
You need one of those infant bulbs, the bulbs that they stick up the nose and just suck all that crap out.
Oh my God.
I don't want anything going up into my brain.
I mean, I'm sure it works, but I'm sure it would feel like, you know, your eyeball was going to come out through your nose. Oh, no. Ugh.
Well, apparently.
Well, as long as nobody has the COVID, we're good.
Huh.
Why would I bring 2 pair of pants playing golf?
No.
In case I got a hole in one.
Oh, jeez.
Come on. That's a good one. That was a good one.
Yep.
Is it really? All right, Rusty. What else did you were talking about daylight savings.
Yeah, but there ain't enough time to get into it.
Are you serious?
There's plenty of time.
Oh, well, why don't you tell them about our
Yes.
sponsor, Rusty? Wow.
Oh, you swallow your vibrator?
Go
What is that?
go to mojo50.com/donate and, you know, give them some money, or go to mojolaserpros.com and make sure you go there, and then it redirects you over to Romika and order some stuff, and, you know, it'll send a little money back to Mojo that way, you know, build up the station, the network, or whatever. You could just go over to romikadesigns.com and order stuff, but it's better if you go to mojolaserpros.com. They got they just go look at the site. I don't know all the stuff.
Wow. Such a great live read.
Yeah, Pirate Cigar, Abel, watch out for Kane. I think he's got it out for you.
Wait, what? Wait, did you just all of a sudden you just went from piratecigar.com to Able Watch Out for Kane, and then you're going right back into something else.
Look at Pirate Cigar. We got some. There's a little pack of off-track cigars that you can get over there, and that'll help us out. We get a little bit from that, and
I don't. What we get?
What?
They don't need to know what we get.
Well, yeah, you got to be open and honest about what you're.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell Abel how many thousands of bucks that you pocketed last year from the show?
I mean, just the money is in this little bag over here.
Yeah, can you see
piratecigar.com over there, and you can go to our Facebook page and click on the shop button and go order it. Yeah, go get a T-shirt. Go get one like this right here. Get this one. Somebody go buy a shirt. Dang it. Track Syndicate. Yeah.
Hey.
Order a size larger. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Quick story I saw in the news real quick. So when you were just doing the live reads there, super professional. It was awesome. Love you, Rusty. We didn't do any American Pride roasters, but so that leads me to think of something I read the other day. Man dies after miscalculating how much caffeine should go in his drink.
Yes, I read that.
Wait, why are you intentionally putting caffeine into a drink?
Okay, I think he was at the gym when the man ended up consuming the equivalent of 200 cups of coffee and caffeine powder.
Would you just die like in a minute, 5 minutes?
He did. He was in Wales, and he was trying to weigh a dose between 60 and 300 milligrams. However, here's what got him. He was using a scale that was weighing in grams, not milligrams, and ended up consuming more than 6 times the recommended dose. He began clutching his chest, complained his heart was beating too fast. Mm-hmm. After laying down minutes later, he began foaming at the mouth. Paramedics worked to resuscitate him for about 45 minutes, but were unable to save him.
So the lesson here, kids, is math is important.
Math is, and get your scales right. So the coroner reported that he had levels of 392 milligrams per liter of blood in his system.
Oh, wow.
Typically, 1 cup of coffee generates an average to 2 to 4 milligrams of caffeine per liter of blood. So the threshold, of course, is lower for people with underlying heart conditions. And they ruled his death as caffeine toxicity.
I can completely see why.
So if you go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com and order the Off-Track blend or any of your favorite American Pride Roasters coffees, just don't add any of that powdered caffeine to it, because American Pride Roasters is perfect. It is perfect. We don't know the status of Dave as of yet. Dave Matthews, DMXDM, the owner proprietor of American Pride Roasters. But if you didn't know, his house was hit with a tornado and was leveled. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Dave and his family.
Yeah, but they're working on getting it back together because I guess some of his equipment didn't get as bad. It wasn't as bad as he thought it was, as far as the equipment and most of the coffee. I think he lost some coffee, but yeah, they're working on it. So you go order now, and that'll help them, get up faster.
Hey,
help Dave get it up.
That's right.
Melissa, you know somebody named Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
What's her last name?
Alexa? Nikes.
She's watching.
Awesome.
No way.
I was like, I know that name. I think.
Oh yeah, Alexa.
Hey Alexa, how are you? Anyway.
Oh, Leslie, I agree. I love their Off-Track blend coffee beans.
When we come back, we are going to discuss a couple things. We're going to discuss a little bit of this daylight savings stuff and something called the magic pill.
Health and wellness, y'all. Use guys.
Health and wellness.
Use
I don't even think any of this is controversial, is it?
Yeah.
You think so? The magic pill is controversial? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, to some folks, it's.
You think it's controversial from the people to the government?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a conspiracy theory.
Well, even if it's not actually because of those reasons, regardless of why, I think there's a lot of, oh my God.
Ansel keys, y'all. Ansel keys.
I think it all makes sense. And, yeah, we'll get there. Some of you like this stuff. I think it's good, but
I do too. I absolutely do. I love it.
All right. Well, I need to do something about this nasalness.
Go blow it.
There's nothing.
Ding ding.
It's not. I just stood up and did it in our last break. Nothing. There's nothing.
You need to snake that drain, dude.
I don't have a Roto-Rooter. I don't like plumbers and stuff. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, we are going to come back right after this break. And see what happens next. And until then, go get yourself a drink. Because I'm going to go do something. Right here off Track Syndicate. Be right back.
I don't know why, but I'm still sober. Dang it. I'm a reluctant non-drinker right now. Damn it. And stuff. But I have been reading a lot, and I started reading a book about mazes. I got lost in it. Just saying. Well, I guess while we got a minute, hey to Erica and Leslie and Miss Rocky and Kathy in the Berg and Timothy Ratliff and Paige and Abel. I'm kind of, I don't know. Is that really somebody, or is that somebody acting like somebody? Just saying. I don't know. Paige Rockwell, William Finnerty, Roger Rabbit. Yeah, he made an appearance. Miss Barbara D. You sweetheart. I wonder where Goki is. Is he in here? Knights who say nee or nah or whatever. I think that Jill was in here earlier. Scott Morris. Let's see, Michael Ray, he was in here earlier. I don't know, he's probably not listening now. Miss Sarah. Hello. I'm scrolling up through here. There's Miss Jill there. I guess I think I got everybody. I'm sorry if I missed you. I'm trying to call everybody out here. Yeah, wait.
Wow, it's quiet in here.
Well, I was just calling out, folks.
Brr.
saying hey and everything. I think I got everybody. Sorry if I missed you, but I think I got everybody. There's Goki. Jill's still here.
Trying to blow my nose. There's nothing happening.
Driving Vicky on your nose would cause increased inflammation.
Driving Vicky? What?
I'm probably,
What in the heck is
I
you
don't
talking
know.
about?
I think he's probably drinking. You know?
Well, he's in Colorado right now, I think,
Oh, he's probably
with his family. So he's taken the couple hours
That's right.
to
He's
join the America's Favorite Shit Show, of course.
yes. Hello, Miss Sarah. That's right. He's taking the family on a much deserved vacation. Right. That's just looks terrible out of context, Knight. Okay. Knight said rubbing. That's terrible. Terrible. Oh God. One more hour.
What's wrong with you? By the way, Chris said he just got home before the shit show, so he didn't really spend much.
It looks like he's trying to use text or talk to text, which is the most infuriating
No, it's not.
thing in the world. It is to me. It doesn't work for me. 99% of the time, it never.
Hey, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to tell you that if I just sit there and go blah, 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 whatever, no, it might not work that well. But if you slow down, enunciate, use your and punctuation.
Okay, how hard? Well, I guess it's not text to speech, but it is text to make your phone do something.
Speak to text.
How can it not? How can it not understand? Call mom. Calling Paul. Calling Bob.
What's
calling
wrong
John.
with your phone? I don't know what that means.
And then pretty soon I'm free. Call mama. No, that don't work. It don't.
Wait, they're like, why are you yelling at me? Don't yell at me. I don't know. I know we know a guy who's constantly having issues with talk to text, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's got a little issue, you know.
I just don't understand how that can be any faster than just typing the shit out.
It is a lot faster, but my shit works most of the time. Most of the time. I might have to go correct a thing or two occasionally, but yeah, not normally. But you do have to slow down, get close to. I mean, look, if you're yelling from at your phone and it's arm's length away, no, it's not gonna understand. Call Paul.
Better call Saul.
God.
I'm sorry. What? No, I said Paul. No, Mom. No, John. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's it's crazy times we live in. You know, Rusty. You had
Yes.
something about time.
Yes. So, what do you think? I mean, you know, everybody wants this time change thing to stop and it just stay, I guess, whatever it is right now, right? To daylight savings.
All right. Can I ask you
Yes.
this before you get into this?
Uh-huh.
How long ago was it before daylight savings was implemented?
I don't know. I didn't research it that far back.
Really?
I
You got all this other information, but not when it started?
Yeah, ending.
All right, you read that. I'll look it up.
U.S. Senate voted unanimously March 15th to pass legislation that would make daylight savings time permanent, ending the cycle of changing clocks by an hour twice a year that most of the U.S. has been observing since 1960 or 60s. There you go. The change would move the majority of the U.S., except for Arizona, Hawaii, and some U.S. territories, to daylight savings time, which gives people an extra hour of sunlight in the afternoon over standard time. Because daylight saving time favors light in the evening, it's meant to encourage activity later in the day. Studies observing behavioral patterns have found people tend to spend more time away from home in the afternoon and evening, but also tend to wake up earlier and are more active around the house in the morning.
So this was good for farmers, right? Full-time or part-time farmers?
Yeah.
All right. It says, I'm going to interrupt here real quick.
Yep.
It says history of daylight saving times in the daylight savings time in the United States. 1916 to 1966 was the early inconsistent use. Federal standard established 66 to 72. I'm not sure why the spread in these here. 73, 75 year-round experiment. 75 to 86 extension of daylight savings time. 2005 to 2009 was a second extension, and proposals in 2015 to 22 of year-round. Blah 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 blah. Okay, and there's a bunch of shit in here, but basically, it's been around for, well, in the concept of the Earth, it's new, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, so why is it so effective?
It was supposed to be for part-time farmers, I guess, to have more daylight, especially around harvest. That's why it was in October, but then they pushed it to November. So kids weren't going to school in the dark. But there's a lot of other reasons. I mean, I'm sure the listeners will come up with all other reasons that they heard of why it was. But I think the main issue the past, I want to say decade, was they didn't want kids waiting in the dark at the school for the school bus and going to school when it was still dark.
What? I mean,
Yeah.
what does it matter?
It was for children's safety.
Why don't they just move the school hour an hour?
Also, there was a study found
Parents' jobs.
In New Zealand that trampoline injuries are most common in the spring just after the clocks shift forward.
You know what?
Oh,
it
wow.
didn't used to
I
be
didn't
an
know
issue
that.
for kids going to school because and the jobs, like you just said, Melissa, because moms were home. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's a whole nother ball of wax.
That's a whole nother, yeah, don't get me started on that. That's a whole
all
nother
right.
can of worms.
Yeah.
We got a lot more to talk about.
See, look, they changed the clocks basically because feminists.
Yeah, society changed. Women
That's
had to go
right.
to work.
That is. You want to break it
Bastards.
down? Let's make it simple. Boom. It's because of feminists.
And research has also
Amy.
shown that losing the hour of sleep, not only, I don't know if other people have heard it, but heart attacks go up when you lose an hour of sleep.
I haven't lost anything.
A month preceding the change, and also car crashes go up. Researchers have seen a consistent pattern of car crashes increasing in the days after the switch to daylight savings time when people lose an hour of sleep, and decreasing in the fall when people gain an hour. But I wonder if that might have something to do with the sun coming up at a different time, and you're used to it. You know, the sun not shining right directly in your face, and you can't see, and you're crashing, and
Okay, so people that wanted this to happen, standard time, or whatever camp you're in, you could come up with any excuse and perform any study to prove yourself right.
Yep.
That's all that is.
Yep.
Sure.
But at least it's not partisan. Thank God.
I will
We
say
don't
this.
have to talk about it being left or right frickin' decision.
Yeah.
I said frickin'.
Yeah, she did. I heard her.
I will say this. My job, I don't notice a damn time change ever. I never have. I don't notice it because my sleeping schedule is not consistent. I can just go to sleep and wake up. It's all about the amount of hours I sleep, not when.
Kathy in the Berg said werewolf activities go up.
Sure.
I tend to believe that.
Wrong show. This is not abnormal realities.
Bigfoot, definitely Bigfoot activities.
Right? Rusty, do you really notice the difference in the time change?
I
You
mean,
get up at different times sometimes.
yeah, I get up at different times. No, the one thing that bugs me, and I guess it's not, I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not, but like I was saying, the sun, like the road that I drive on, if I hit it at the wrong time, there's about a mile stretch that I can't see shit because the sun is just right directly.
Well, that's where you should just move, face the other direction.
No,
What?
no, but no, I mean and it's bad not just because of the sun, but because I go up and down in these hills. So like there's shaded spots, and if the sun's in my eyes and I'm going into a shady spot, you can't see nothing. I mean, not a damn thing. No matter how hard you try. So yeah, I've run off the road a few times. Oh yeah.
I just don't look. It's to me. We lived with it for how many thousands of years, and we're letting an hour dictate our life. The sun, there wasn't such a thing. There was not a daylight savings, and everyone did fine. They adapted and overcome like a good Marine.
Well, then why do we need time zones?
I don't know.
We adapt.
I don't know that answer to that. I mean, that kind of makes more sense to me since, look, I get it. I don't want to. It's in our mind. I completely understand what your point is here. Because if I get up at noon and it's what we would call 6 a.m., what doesn't matter. It's just a number.
Well, anyway, it's not going to take effect immediately. If it does pass the House, then it'll start November 23rd. We will not set the clocks back. We will stay in daylight savings time.
You mean we would just stay in normal time?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and okay. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's not going to take effect this year if it passes.
Right. I honestly can't say I would notice a difference.
I'm
not saying I will. I'm not saying I won't. I don't think I would. I don't know.
It would impact my life, and it would impact a lot of other people's lives.
Well,
because people that have like 9-to-5 jobs or 7-to-3 jobs, people that have it does impact some people, and I think it's for me personally, this is my selfish idea. I would like to keep daylight savings time or normal time. But that's just me.
You would want them to keep switching back and forth.
No, I would not. I want it to just stay. What the time that we're doing right now, this is what I want it to stay.
Right. So in other words,
I don't care if it's dark in the morning. I like it being dark in the morning. That's fine. I'd rather have more daylight at night.
So what you're saying is you wouldn't call it a daylight savings anything. You would just call it it's the time.
Right. But I'm calling it daylight savings time just to be clear that this is what we're in.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, if it's across the board the same and it doesn't change, it's just time. Mm-hmm. Whatever I don't know. Like I said, I cannot honestly say whether it will or will not affect me.
Well, what I want to know is anybody that has chickens or a rooster, they say, well, the rooster crows at sunrise or whatever. I'll be damned. At 4:00 in the morning, it ain't nowhere near the sun coming up, and that sucker's standing out there crowing. It's like, what the hell are you crowing about?
Anticipation.
I guess.
Couldn't sleep, had a nightmare.
It's crazy.
Oh, there's that. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to look at something here. Stuff. Okay. What, I Melissa, I think you probably have more knowledge about this subject, even though we've all watched it. You have some additional information about the magic pill.
Well, talk about it. Give everybody a idea.
All right. So there's I guess you'd call it a documentary, and maybe many of our listeners have already watched it. It's called The Magic Pill. I think it was originally a Netflix documentary.
Oh, really?
I think so. I could be wrong, but that's what I've been told. So, or at least, yeah, whatever. It's basically about the food we intake in mainly the United States. Mm-hmm. Of course, there are issues worldwide, but in a different scope. But the processed foods, I don't even know how much to speak of, even if you just went back to your meat, your fatty meats and your vegetables, like they say, how much difference it's going to make because of all the stuff that may be in there. But they're saying in this Magic Pill documentary that over time it has been pushed to where a lot of our medical issues stem from the food we eat. I mean, that's probably just the most basic way I could say that. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. That's what
How
we
many
feed our
times have
body.
we talked about this on our show without really knowing any more information?
Yeah, we
I mean,
have.
you have books on it, though.
Yes, I do. I have, I guess, more than 2 hard copies, but I guess 2 of the main ones, and a lot of PDFs and stuff. I could tell you. So one thing, it wasn't just artificial or processed food that I got from it. It was the actual nutrition and how we've been duped or allegedly been duped about all of the information about a healthy diet. And
Right.
Ansel Keys, back in the day, he was the one that started the rumor that saturated fat was bad for us. And this is going to be really hard for me to articulate because these are
It is.
These
It's
are
difficult.
things
There's a
that
lot to go on.
these are things that are rooted in our brains. It's part of us, part of the narrative as we grew up. Our generation, and I want to say the baby boomer generation also, that fat and cholesterol are bad for your diet and that causes heart attacks. And what they're finding now is that's not true. And this is based on a diet. So the Magic Pill basically goes into a keto lifestyle. And it talks about different ailments from a young child with, what was the learning disability? I don't remember.
Autism.
Autism. But I also know that the keto diet has been prescribed for many years for children with epilepsy. That part there is peer reviewed and evidence based, where the keto diet is very healthy for children with epilepsy. I'm not sure about autism, but I would think, I'm not a medical professional, but I would think that would help also. So
They make a very good argument for it. I mean,
they do. And the reason I studied, I probably told you guys a bunch of times, I lost 25 pounds, and it was because of a keto style. It's not, I don't call it keto, but I guess, just to simplify it, that's what I'll call it. But I'm skeptical because I never dieted before like that. I've used MyFitnessPal. I've done other things like that. But last year, at the end of April, my son took a picture of me. I needed a profile picture for this course I was taking. And I looked at myself. I was like, because I'm not the type, I'm not like constantly in the mirror or fixing my hair or makeup. I mean, you see me in person, you could probably tell. But when he took that picture of me, I was like, wow, I look like a Cabbage Patch Kid. Holy crap. But But also, before that picture, there was also health issues. My knees, I was going to physical therapy for arthritis and knee issues. I also had high cholesterol. Not enough for a doctor to prescribe statins, but enough for the doctor to be concerned that I need to change my diet. Didn't say how, just said to, I guess, Google it. VA doctor, go figure, right? So, so I had all these other issues. So I went on this low carb, high protein diet. And within a month, I noticed a huge change. Maybe 10 pounds in the first month, and then it just kept coming off. And people were noticing, like all my friends and people around noticed, like, what are you doing? I said, well, I stopped drinking beer because beer is, the one thing. But if you are a consumer, if you care to imbibe every once in a while, and instead of drinking beer, you drink spirits, vodka, tequila, bourbon, whiskey, all of those things are totally fine. They say alcohol, there's sugars in alcohol, but you have to understand the science of your glycemic index and how it processes it.
Well, and let me just say this about that. In my situation, and this is what I also researched, because when I learned about it, being diabetic, I'm like, well, crap, I ain't gonna be able to drink anymore. But no, spirits, not including wine and beer. Spirits does not have a negative rise in your. Just because it's made with sugar doesn't mean that your body is processing it like that. That's all out. It can actually make your sugar bottom out because you're not paying, because you're drinking and not paying attention to it. Not that it causes it. That's it does not raise your glycemic index. What does is any mixers that you put in there that have sugar in them.
So for mixers, I use basically club soda, seltzer, or lime juice, because fruit is not good because of the sugars. The only sugars that are okay are lemon, limes, cherries, and berries, and that's it. Because even though some of the cherries and berries have sugar in it, it does not touch your insulin.
Right. It doesn't raise your glycemic index.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so, sorry, I'm sneezing and two things. Roger Rabbit, he said both of these on YouTube. I'm going to read the one first, which is backwards, but ketogenic helps his daughter with epilepsy. Very good. And he also said the food pyramid isn't all it's cut out to be. Well, they actually mentioned the food pyramid.
It's upside down.
Yes, it is upside down.
Yeah.
And I personally, look, I get it, man. So what day did her and I go to the gym? Saturday, Bobby and I go to the gym, have our coffee, get up, have a coffee. We go to the gym. We're there for a couple hours. And then we're like, well, we don't want to ruin it by we're starving, but we don't want to ruin it by just going to have, crap, whatever. So we go and we get salad bar, and but they have these little, what do they call them? The thinly sliced bread, and they've got the olive oil and the balsamic. Is it like baguettes? Is that right?
Would you call me?
You're a freaking baguette. Baguette. I don't know, but it was really good,
Is it like caprese? Not caprese. Is it the crostinis?
Yeah. There you go. They're just small, about this big around. They're cut, sliced. Yeah.
The French bread crostinis.
But this place, it's called Jason's Deli, and they've got really good food. But we didn't want to load up on the carbs and, all this. So we got, the meats and the eggs and the stuff with our salads.
We got the meats.
But I do crave bread sometimes,
I do too. Especially being Italian and bake. I love to cook. I bake. I cook, and I was a pasta freak, and macaroni and noodles too. but the way the way of eating I decided to follow really helped satiate me, and I cook pasta and breads and everything for my husband and for my son. And most of the time, I'm just fine. I'm
So,
absolutely
I have
fine.
to ask-
I eat a lot of steak. I eat cheese. Steak and cheese is mostly my diet because also the thing that I read, you don't actually need. This is what I read. I'm not. I didn't study this, but when it comes to fruits, and they say you got to have so many fruits and vegetables, you can live totally fine without them. Especially a lot of fruits and anything with seeds in them. When you talk about nature,
Slow down.
when you talk about nature, the animals that we eat, those animals eat the fruits and vegetables, and then we.
I
eat
love
the animals.
vegetables.
No,
I mean,
it's
okay.
fine. It's not bad.
Wait,
So
question.
root vegetables aren't good. Anything that grows above ground, except for corn,
Oh.
is good.
I have, well, corn is really good, but I understand it doesn't have any nutritional value, right? Okay. So, when you talk about vegetables, I would assume that back in the day, somewhere along the line, like, I hate that. We are going to continue this because I have questions. And I'm going to leave it right there. Cliffhanger. Melissa's got books to talk about, too. That big, fat thing. Surprise. Whatever. Right here on Off Track Syndicate, guys.
And stuff. Anyway, folks, that movie is The Magic Pill. It's over on Amazon.
It's worth it. Go watch it.
There's a bunch of similar movies. Fat One, Fat 2, The Impossible Burger, Sugar Busters.
But, you know,
All of these documentaries are all in the same.
I got to write this stuff down because I want to talk about that, too. It's all relative.
Yeah, and the thing about the Mediterranean diet, I was trying to get on that for a while because I live there. And then when I read about it or got cookbooks, it's like, I don't think whoever wrote this cookbook never lived in the Mediterranean because people automatically think it's a high carb. They eat high carbs, and they don't. It's a majority meat, fish, olive oil, garlic, and some vegetables. They don't eat a lot of pasta. They do. They have some pasta and bread, but it's not the main deal.
Is Gilly gonna make an appearance? I've seen her pop her head up there for a second. Gilly needs to make an appearance. Come on.
I walked dogs today. My side hustle and chicken
over on the
smoked.
Twitter, there's a guy. I guess it goes by Dang It Chris.
Dang it, Chris!
Dang it, Chris.
Like, dang it, Chris. He says we can totally live without fruits. Oh, she meant the edible kind.
Oh, I thought you meant you had
They have
vegetables.
enough fruits in the world, I will tell you that.
I like the
Yes,
vegetables.
yes, Gilly.
Hi,
she is.
that's my baby girl there. Hi, Gilly. I wish she could hear me.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I forget you have that. Hi, Gilly girl. Gilly. Coming in hot, Gilly. Gilly. She's rolling her eyes at me.
Yep.
She's like, what the actual F? Alrighty, guys. So, I had a question. I love this intro.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Miss Gilly. Gilly is our official
Gilly
off-
girl.
The America's favorite shit show mascot is live on the air. Oh, she should shave her pits.
Yeah.
Oh, and down below. Anyway. So, before the break, I was going to ask this question. I have two things. But the first one is the vegetables we eat, somewhere along the line, they grew wildly, I would assume. Like, I don't see broccoli as something that just grew wildly, and then now it doesn't. How does that work? You know what I mean? All this stuff you have to plant intentionally to get it to grow, and you have to cultivate it and nurture it, and, you know, in these a correct climates. I'm sure it's a cultural thing. I mean, not a cultural. That's not true. A geographical. But I mean, are there places in the world? Let's just take broccoli for example, that it grows wildly.
No, you cannot find broccoli growing
Okay.
in the wild.
Where the hell does it come from then? How does it ever start to exist if you can't grow it wildly?
There's
This-
so many things that are genetically modified to make our nutrition, which isn't
Right.
bad. It occurs in nature.
But
Yeah.
does I'm going to stick with this. Was broccoli genetically engineered? Was it produced by something?
Okay, yes.
don't
Now,
know.
when you say genetic engineering, that does not necessarily mean that you have went in there
I know.
and messed with the genes. Careful plant breeding and picking out the traits that you like and then replanting it and mating it with other plants or whatever, blah, blah, and that. So, yes, that's how it was. Centuries. It
Okay.
took centuries
So,
to develop broccoli.
is broccoli bad because it was engineered? So to
No,
speak?
okay. Don't get me started on the GMO
No,
thing.
I'm
GMOs,
asking.
No,
I don't know.
GMOs
No,
are
right.
not bad. GMOs have saved farmers and has given the world food security.
But I'm not talking about saving farmers. I'm talking about, is it healthy to go in my body?
Yes, of course it
Just
is.
let the free market.
Okay, there's
Do we
there's
not-
there's
do we
an
not-
informal logical fallacy called the appeal to nature.
I'm not discussing. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I don't want to. I'm just at the moment not discussing quote GMOs.
Okay,
But I
broccoli
honestly
is
don't-
good if you
I-
like it. If you don't like it, don't eat it.
What I'm saying is I don't give a shit whatever happened to the free market. It's saving farmers. I get it, but they're also getting government subsidies. So
What are you talking?
That's not where I was going with any of this. I just want to know if there are vegetables out there that were not around naturally. Obviously, there are because you can't find them naturally. So, are they bad if they're produced, like made, like invented?
Oh.
No,
No.
not at
Okay.
all.
Right. But I'd still like to find it. That would be cool. if
But
it was.
also, I don't think people should force people to eat broccoli because
No.
it's so good. But it's
believe
actually a
it's
gene. It's actually a gene. You know how like some people like cilantro and some people don't? It's an actual taste thing. Same thing with broccoli and those kind of, what do you call it, cruciferous vegetables. You don't ever force anybody to eat broccoli
No,
because if you don't
wait.
like it, don't eat it.
Who's saying anything about forcing people to eat shit?
Well, broccoli is kind of one of those hot topics when it comes to nutrition.
I don't
Broccoli
know.
causes cancer because a couple of bags had E. coli in it a few years ago, and blah blah blah, and
Yeah, but
lettuce is bad. That's like pop news.
Yeah. All right. My other thing was the actual title of this documentary, The Magic Pill. I don't know how they meant it. Full disclosure, I kind of dozed off on some of this stuff. I hadn't had much sleep and I was tired. So, no, I did not go back and finish it. But to my knowledge, they didn't discuss why they called the show The Magic Pill. How I take that title is, in our society, there are so many people who, they want to be healthy. They try to quote eat, and I'm using a lot of quotes here, and I'll continue to throw them up because you people, no, some people, they want to eat healthy, okay, and I completely understand that. And yet they buy all of these supplements, all of them. I'm not saying I haven't bought any supplements. I have bought some supplements. But there are other people who have bought like everything that they can get their hands on, thinking it's going to make their diet better. And I don't understand that.
Americans
happened-
have the most expensive pee
Well,
because
yeah,
we fall
because
for
you just-
everything.
How about, okay, it's a time thing. Oh, well, I don't have time or the money to cook. Let's be honest. Preparing food and cooking food that is healthy for you is so much more expensive than eating junk food. But yet you'll turn around and buy all these supplements that cost astronomical amounts of money to save you the time and the effort, which it would be great, but it
that
just
you don't need.
No, it doesn't work.
No,
I mean, I'm not saying they can't be helpful.
No,
in a
they
good
can't
way.
hurt. That's the
Right.
thing. They can't hurt.
But I think that there are some things that can what's that word? Add to. Let's just say add to your diet.
So
Like
as far as
literally-
I know, as far as I know, the only supplement that Americans lack is vitamin D, and there are some cases vitamin B, but you got to get blood tests to find out if you actually need it and get a consult from the doctor. But back in the day, I was so into GNC and I was buying every freaking vitamin, mega this, mega that, and it never did anything. And you pee expensive. And now that I know now that I know the psychology of marketing, these people.
it's all marketing.
I am a lot more afraid of marketing than I am of. I was going to say the government. That's not true. But I am really these marketing, and you have to learn how to find the key words. When somebody starts off a thing that said, and I know I've done this, but when somebody starts off of a sentence with studies show, that means absolutely nothing to me. Studies show, can, may, should, all of those things are, they get in our brain. And I see that shit on Fox News, the Nature's Bounty or whatever. Yeah, it can't hurt to take those, but it's definitely a waste of money.
Let me ask, and not just the two of you. I almost said the three of you. I'm talking to myself in the third
Do I have
person.
my other personality out here?
Oh yeah, maybe so. It's kind of hanging out over your left shoulder. But I want to ask you guys and the audience: when you see something like today, I bought a protein bar, and I bought this particular one because it says on the package it has only 2 grams of sugar, and it has, I think I'd have to go get it, but I think it says it has 21 grams of protein in it and 190 calories. Some of the stuff I see is like a lot more grams of sugar. Well, according to this documentary, The Magic Pill, and my dad is like an attestament to this documentary. My dad got cancer, refused all, quote, medical treatment. He went home. He got the mass removed. Okay, so he went that far with it, but yet they were talking about later doing whatever, the radiation, chemo stuff, whatever. He didn't do any of that. He went totally natural diet, changed his diet, stopped all sugars as much as absolutely possible.
I think that's even more important than carbs. Is just
Yes,
stopping
and
sugar.
he has always said that cancer loves sugar.
Yeah, that's what
It
feeds
feeds
it.
on it, right? So far he had, and gosh, what's it been, 10 years, somewhere in there. He's cancer free still, but he also goes and works out and exercises, which is important. He started doing yoga, compressing his lymph nodes, and just his whole new lifestyle.
Wellness. Yeah, that is the
That's
embodiment of wellness.
Right. You can, and that's something else too. Not that I'm good at it. I've just kind of at 50, almost 52 years old, just started to be a little more health conscious. I'll just say that, doing this and doing that. But I think you can't just work out all the time and eat whatever you want, and you can't just eat great.
No, diet is correlated with losing weight. Exercise builds strength
Yes.
and durability, but your food choices
Have
are.
that diet.
So I think I forgot to add this on my little diatribe there. So after I was doing the low carb, no sugar, my cholesterol came back down to normal. And that's not even what I was trying for. I was honestly it was actually the vanity thing. I was trying to lose weight. I don't go to physical therapy anymore. And my triglyceride, I don't know, my friend pointed this out, is like off the roof. It's like almost like I'm a young chick again. And that wasn't even my goal, but this just happened in January. So a friend of mine, she didn't believe that it was a good thing because she's like a super sugar fiend. but her cholesterol went off the roof, and she's over, not on the roof, skyrocketed, and she was really sick. Her oldest son, has type 1 diabetes, and I was like, that's just eat like he does. Eat like your son. And we've gone back and forth. I gave her a PDF and a bunch of information, and she, within just a couple of months, she's perfect. And she's my age.
Right. Rusty, I know you had to have gotten some information. I mean, and maybe you already knew because you deal with some of this stuff. Did you find anything in this show that you didn't know, like like the diabetes and the stuff, or what?
No, I knew. I knew how sugar and how carbs and how trans fats affect all of that. No, what amazed me about it was, and of course this was just one claim by one person that was on there, but the woman that had cancer and didn't do like you said your dad didn't do none of the treatments, just
Right.
went to keto and natural, and it went away because sugar, like they're saying, sugar.
Right.
I didn't know that about the sugar and the cancer.
I
That was
sorry.
that was amazing.
Yeah, it was. And as many times as I had heard my dad say that, and I kind of understood what he was saying, when in the show they showed the, I don't remember what medical images it was of the mass that the guy had, and then how it went away just because he changed and like just dropped all sugars.
Yeah.
And it was, honestly, that's incredible to me.
Yeah.
But they even got into the conspiracy aspect of it to where governments who have pushed, they talked about the American Indians. They talked about, I believe, the Aborigines,
Yeah.
over in Australia. Well, they were. A lot of this was filmed in Australia. Here's your, what were the three ingredients? The white flour,
The
sugar,
maize.
Yep.
something. Yeah, there was a couple and they just sent them on their way, and it kind of changed their culture. I mean, what
Made them all fat.
The fry bread,
White flour,
Yeah.
corn,
Yeah.
and sugar. Now they're all
white
fat.
flour, corn, sugar, right?
Insulin.
And when I would guess that before, quote, white men came along and started pushing all this crap on the American Indian, that they were mostly meat eaters.
I think the American Indian were the ones who,
corn.
yeah, they developed, they GMO'd corn.
But don't you think that they were, I mean, mostly
That
meat
was
eaters?
before the white men.
Look, you don't have to completely, or I believe, you don't have to completely
No.
give up this stuff.
No,
you
you don't.
just need to cut way, way back.
Yeah.
And
Well-
I mean a lot. You need to be eating, most of your diet needs to be, from what I understand, meat,
And
good fat, saturated fats. Stay away from the damn the vegetable oil, the corn oil, any of that oil that you fry shit in. You need
Olive
to be,
oil, avocado oil. I
Yeah,
love
you-
olive oil,
so let me,
Yeah, that's what
All
you
right.
need. To
which
be
is
frying.
actually a fruit oil because olives are fruits.
Yeah.
maybe I fell asleep during this part if they mentioned it. Like I said, I need to go back and finish it. But so after my son and I went to the gym today, once again, I didn't, I'm trying to get him to understand about not just exercising, but eating well as well. We went to the store and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get some boneless, skinless chicken breast and some vegetables. And that's the thing is, you can steer yourself in any direction, but you're not going to get away from the stuff that's pumped full of who knows what.
One
Right?
thing I loved about being on this way of eating was I was able to eat like chicken breasts and chicken thighs with the skin.
Okay, but
That's good for you
why were you shaking your head when I say boneless, skinless chicken?
because that doesn't give you the health benefit that you think it does.
Right. Yeah, you want
Yeah,
okay,
you
I-
want
I-
the skin,
time
you
out,
want the
time
fat.
out. Time out. I wasn't referring to the fact that it was boneless, skinless. I'm just mainly my point was just chicken.
Okay.
It's just a meat and a vegetable. But what do they put in this chicken? You know, Rusty can sit here and tell you that a 4-month-old chicken's going to slaughter. 4 months old.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Yeah.
From hatching to slaughter is 120 days.
There you go. What are they pumping it full of? Is that horrible for us? I can't imagine it being good. So even if I switch my diet to what, this documentary saying, what's in that meat and stuff that I'm eating?
I can tell you what's in what they're feeding them. Corn.
Well, there you go. Well, then. Huh.
That's, 99% of their diet, of a chicken's diet in a chicken house, is corn. That's why they say raise yard birds. Birds that are eating. I know you can't, but raise your own. Don't feed them grain. Don't feed them corn.
Yeah, I mean, you literally have to have a buttload of chickens to feed yourself or cattle or
That's why they were saying don't, eat grass-fed beef, not corn-fed beef.
Why? So I've been eating a lot of grass-fed beef because my in-laws have the ranch. Got a shitload of they're Black Angus. They're not dairy cows. Yeah. But I love it. But if you compare it side by side with grain-fed, the taste is, for me personally, I mean, everybody has different tastes, but I think the grain-fed tastes better.
Is it because you think you're used to, or do you think it's because it's what you're used to?
Well, so with all of this advertising, you got to think of all of the propaganda that we've been fed when it comes to how healthy eating. And I think that's one thing the magic pill should have taught us, that just because grain-fed and organic and all of that, those are just buzzwords and marketing techniques. There is no benefit. There is no benefit from eating a grass-fed cow steak than a grain-fed cow steak. There is zero difference.
How do you know that?
I will give you the study. I will show you the studies of that. I have all of that information.
But wait now, what you just said a little while ago, you don't believe anybody that says, I will show you the study.
I will show. No. I said don't believe people that say studies have shown. But when I say I am going to show you, if you want information, if you want to study from somebody, tell me. You have to say, show me that information. From anybody, from me, from anybody that proclaims to know a fact. We all have opinions, and mostly that's what we do here. But I will show you that there is no evidence of a difference between grass-fed and grain-fed.
What they said on the magic pill was that, they said grain-fed, which I don't know. It makes sense to me. If what you are putting into your body changes your physiology, then would it not change the physiology of the animal that is also eating it?
We're not cows. Just like we're not dogs. You have to understand there's different metabolisms. People have been asking me on this other freaking social media platform about freaking dog food. And they want to go to a keto dog food, or they want to go to Blue Buffalo dog food, or they want to go to a raw diet. It doesn't matter more. The diets for dogs don't matter as much as it does for humans. And believe me, if I knew of a superior way to feed a dog, believe me, I would do it and I would spend the money. But they metabolize food. They can survive in the wild and eat just about anything. Dogs are not 100% carnivore.
No, they're omnivores.
But there are companies out there. There are these food companies. These dog food companies are like, oh, I'm going to send you this fresh vet or whatever, because they know it's marketing. We love our dogs and we want to feel like we're doing the absolute best we can for them. And people play on that. All of these marketers play on that. And it's not true. There are kibble that is just fine for your dogs. That your dog can live 15 years healthy and happily on just some of the freaking Purina kibble. You don't need Blue Buffalo. You really don't.
I know there was a time to where my dad, I don't remember what it was called, but he put his dog on a raw meat diet because, well, nature dogs.
Appeal to nature fallacy. Go ahead.
Yeah, used to eat raw meat when they ate meat because it wasn't cooked and bones and everything. Like that because it digests. It's soft. The bones are soft. They're not brittle. It's not a big deal. And I was surprised. I watched this dog, eat raw meat like a chicken, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, my dad feeds his dog
bones.
raw venison.
Yeah, with the bones too.
I don't know. I feed gilly bones though, rib bones.
All right.
Raw.
Well, let me tell you this
Raw
about
and
that.
cooked.
Chicken bones. I know a vet that has been a vet for 25 years, and the only bone she says not to feed your dog is a chicken bone because of the way it splinters.
Yes.
Cow bones do not splinter that way. They crush and crumble. They don't form into jagged. She said they have several a year. Somebody feeding their dog chicken bones that it splinters and gets caught in their throat, and they're gagging and doing all kinds of stuff, and she has to go in and take it out.
Right. And I think that's mainly because how many people feed their dogs raw meat, raw with bones?
Yeah, my dad. I was thinking of going to the butcher. Excuse me, and getting some for Gilly. I just found a butcher. That's why around here. I didn't even know we had one, but I don't stress about it. I know that would be healthy, a good protein kick for her, and a good chew toy for the ribs after. Like, she really loves the ribs, but she still gets her dry food, which is totally fine, and even helped her skin. So whatever. Don't stress about it too much is what I'm saying.
I'm not. I'm just kind of saying what I've seen in the past. I mean, he doesn't do that anymore. Well, I didn't have a dog anymore either, so. But
Stop it.
What? What?
I miss your dogs that I never even met.
Oh,
Liberty,
my God.
Ammo, yeah.
Well, Liberty, she hurt her foot. She has a big bandage around her from her wrist down. And gosh dang it, he told me what happened today, and I don't remember. But she had to go to the vet and have something ground off, or I don't know. But
Dewclaw?
No. That was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
No, she got injured or something. I know she got out recently. She's becoming the Houdini, like Ammo was. Ammo could just go up and open the gate. He did, unless you put a padlock on it. No, he's gonna open the gate. Door handles, it didn't matter. But yeah.
How did he do it with thumb? Did he have a thumb?
Yeah, he has dew claws, opposable dew claws. It's kind of, but no. A lot of the door handles back then were paddle handles.
Yeah.
But he could go and pull a door open too. Like that house in Arizona, that last house, it was like a special built front door, right? It's like 8 foot tall, literally. It's 8 feet tall, and it's, I don't know, however wide. You don't have to turn a couch sideways to walk through it. You know what I mean? You can just walk through the door. But it was probably 2 1/4 inches thick. I don't know. Really heavy, solid wood. He would go up and pull the paddle handle and then kind of pull it with his paw, and just enough, and he would get his nose in there and then push this door open. But he had the strength to do that too. There's a different, it's not like he's a Chihuahua or a Gilly.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with little dogs.
I'm debating whether I'm supposed to take any more medicine. It's only been.
Are you hitting the road?
Yeah. Bobby's having a procedure done this week, so I have a short week. I have to run to Texas and back, so I'm going to take her to the hospital and do that with her on Thursday.
Oh, good luck.
Stay with her. Yeah. No,
Good luck to Bobby.
Yeah, it's all. What's the term? It's a regular procedure, whatever. But
Routine?
Routine. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So but I do have to go to work. Ugh. I just feel like crap, and it's literally come on in the last 6, 7, 8 hours. This nasal stuff. And I know I'm going to wake up tomorrow and just kind of suck.
Oh, good night, y'all. Good night, Kathy.
Well, but Kathy always leaves the shows early. I think she's getting out before traffic hits.
Yeah, right?
Look, you better.
Yeah, she's getting out to the parking lot.
It's always that smart one that leaves out the parking lot before the show ends.
Every Leonard Skinner concert I've ever been to, I leave as soon as Freebird starts. I'm out of there,
I'm out. I've heard this song. I don't need to hear it
Yep.
anymore. Yeah.
and it's really long. And Leonard Skinner and Allman Brothers. I'm out of there.
I have never seen either one of them once.
Oh, the last time I saw the Allman Brothers, long time ago, Kenny Wayne Shepherd opened.
Hey,
Awesome
Scott
band.
Morris.
Great
No.
show.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to tell him. I'll text you. Go ahead. Sorry, Melissa.
Oh, by the way, Scott said earlier he was naked in his recliner.
I saw that.
Was he eating
Thanks for
Cheetos
that.
or cheese balls?
Probably cheese balls.
I like Cheetos so much better than cheese puffs or cheesy poofs. Cartman.
Yes, it went with Cheesy Poof. Is that right? Is that correct?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Howdy-ho.
Someone I didn't see in the chat tonight, Robin.
No, I sent her a notification on Twitter because that's all she has, and I guess she didn't make it. So I will be sure to bitch at her tomorrow.
After all the accolades we got,
I
from her,
know.
what? Really? If you go back and listen to this, you're gonna hear your name called out at the end of the show, Robin.
That's right,
now.
Robin. Remember, go over to Facebook, go to our Facebook page, Off Track Syndicate, hit the shop button, buy a T-shirt, please. I'm begging, please.
Yeah, and like this video.
Yeah, hit like.
Hit that,
That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
hit that thumbs up.
Share it.
That one right there. Oh, someone else does that. Here's a Facebook poke. That one guy. Dang it.
Have
Sorry.
a great week, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Peace out. We love you, every one of you. We'll do it again.
Barbara says goodnight, Billy.
Stuff.
We're still on YouTube.
Good night, Abel and Kathy and Scott and Roger and Barbara and
watching.
Jen and Kathy and the Berg and Leslie. Leslie's already gone. Michael, Goki, Barbara D, Morris, Rocky, Jen. I think I got most everybody.
Jamie was